What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Dev. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today, you see that beauty behind me. We are taking it to yet another car show. Super excited. Picking up Pops right now. We're about to cruise out. But you guys are gonna see, some of the highlights of the car show, and then later on in the video, we're gonna talk about the storyline of me getting this car, because I told you guys I would tell you guys the story behind it. Pretty cool story, and yeah, I'm gonna share it. So stay tuned, headed to the car show. We'll see you guys in a few. Can we take a moment to realize how clean this bad boy is? I had to wipe it off. I hate pulling out any of the toys dirty. You guys already know that. The bikes never get pulled out dirty. This is the same way, guys. It is so clean. So clean, so clean. But yeah, we about to roll out, y'all. We are about to kick it. All right, guys, we have made it here to the car show. Your boy was hungry. I had to get me a little snack real quick. But guys, they got some cool stuff. Do a little video collage of some of the cool ones that I like, guys. They got a lot of real nice stuff out here, though. You see the vet over there, though. You can't miss it. All right, guys, so what you see behind me is my C8, and then the original owner of my C8, he brought out his beautiful 2025 Sebring Orange C8 Z06. So about to record a couple shots, and man, oh man. What is going on, guys? I hope you love going to the car show with me and Pops. We had such a freaking amazing good time. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. It did just start raining out there, and y'all, we literally got home right at the right time. We've been cruising around with the top off all day, and we literally just got home not even 10 minutes ago. So blessed to have made it home without getting caught in the rain, because you guys know how I feel about getting caught in the rain. But guys, I promised you guys a story time today, and I want to share with you why I ended up getting the C8 Corvette now and not waiting until later on in life, because this all sort of happened actually really fast. And yeah, it's a kind of a cool story. So check it out. So last November, Dominica and I, we went down to Dallas to visit my granddad, and we needed a rental car while we were there. And I was looking on Turo, and I came across this black C8 Corvette. And I was like, you know what? I've always said that I've wanted to experience a vet. This is the perfect opportunity. We're going to be going around because we're going to be staying with my granddad, but we're going to be all over Dallas. And I'm like, you know what? Why not just rent it, right? It wasn't too bad of a price. I think it was going to be like $800 or $900 for the time that we were going to be there. And I was like, this is going to give me the opportunity to see if a C8 Corvette is really what I want in my garage, right? So we rented it. Of course, we loved it. It was black. It was a 1LT car, so it didn't really have many options. I think it did have that performance exhaust from GM or from Chevrolet. So it was nice, guys, but it wasn't anything special. It was a 1LT car, so it didn't have the 14 speaker system. It had the 10 speaker system, which I thought was incredible, by the way, in the 1LT car. It was dope, guys. It didn't have the Z51 performance package, but it was a great car, guys. It was my first time ever driving a Vet myself. I've rode in a couple Vets in the past. My uncle used to have a C5 Vet that I got the opportunity to ride in one time when I was a kid. And then one of my dad's good friends, an uncle like to me, his name is Jay, but he has a beautiful C7 Z06, and I got the opportunity to ride in that as well years ago when he got it back in like 2015, and I loved that. But I had never driven or even rode in a C8 Vet. So driving that C8 down in Dallas was my first experience. And guys, when I got back to the city, I could not stop thinking about it, guys. I was literally hooked. Chevy knew what they did when they designed this car. If you get behind the wheel, the best thing you can do is if you don't want one or you don't want to spend the money, just like I told you guys with my Roll Glide, guys, do not go drive one of these Corvettes, guys, because they drive so good. They are so much fun. And guys, again, it had me sold just from renting it, guys. I shouldn't have rented it because you see what I had to come home and do. But again, I got back to the city and Dominica was getting annoyed because I was talking about this car like every day. I was like, boo, we got to get a Vet. We got to get a Vet. She's like, why do we have to get one now? And I was like, I mean, you got a point, but why not now? You know, because again, earlier in the summer that year, last year, you guys know I had that accident. And, you know, I realized that life is short, guys. You never freaking know. That day, the morning of that accident was any other normal morning, guys. Nothing was different. You never could have told me I would have been involved in an accident that almost took my life, guys. So what I realized after that accident and after being, you know, hemmed up all summer long last year, I realized, guys, life is short and tomorrow is not promised for anybody. So I'm like, if I want this toy and I've always wanted one and I'm in the position to be able to go out and get one, why not now? So after she understood that, you know, it took a little while to get her to get that. But after she understood that, she was like, all right, if this is really what you want, we can get one. So we started looking, and me, guys, I wasn't trying to spend too much. I was trying to get a newer one because I really wanted the warranty, but I wasn't trying to get like a 2LT or a 3LT car. I probably wasn't going to get the Z51 package. I wasn't going to be tracking the vehicle. So I was trying to stay on the lower end of the pricing structure when it comes to these vehicles. So I had found one, a black one, almost identical to the one that we rented, and it was in Detroit, right? So I told my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, I want to go get this Vet. And he was like, what? You get a Vet? Like, that's what's up. So I was like, I want to go get this Vet. It's in Detroit, and we were going to go get it the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Now, it got to the Wednesday before Thanksgiving of 2024, and I ended up going on to the dealer's website because I had been looking at it like every day. You know how that goes. You know when you want a new toy and you like looking at it like all the time, like you looking at the same ad like 10 times a day just because you excited? That was me. So end up going on like the day before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday, and the car has sold. So I'm like, dang, and y'all, like this car, they were selling it at such a great deal. It was a 1LT car, didn't really have any options, but it was a C8, y'all. It was a C8, it was black, it was legendary. It had the performance exhaust, it had a couple other goodies that I wanted on it, like the spoiler, it had the front splitter, just other little stuff, right? But they were gonna be selling that car for right around $63,000 plus tax, right? So I would have been out the door for like 67 grand on that car, which, again, in my opinion, for a C8 Corvette, 67 grand, are you kidding me? Like, that is nuts, guys. Like, are you 67 grand for a C8 Corvette? You're basically buying a Toyota Supra for $65,000, right? A Nissan Z for $55,000, $60,000. So a C8 Corvette, something that I could take the top off of, something that I'd have that mean V8 rumble, you know, something that I'd have a 10-speaker sound system for a 1LT car. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm getting this. So when it sold, I'm like, dang. So told my dad it sold. We canceled those plans, but it was a yellow one at a dealership about 2 hours away. And I was like, man, I like this competition yellow. I've always been a fan of the yellow. My uncle's, when I was a kid, the one that I got to ride in when I was a kid, his was yellow. It was a yellow C5. And I was like, you know what? Let's go check this one out. We took the road trip. We hopped in the WRX and ended up driving 2 hours away and went and checked out the yellow one. And when we walked in the dealership, I'll show you guys the picture, but when we walked in, there was a yellow one, the one that we went to see, and then there was a Rapid Blue one sitting right next to it, very similar to this one. Now, it's not this particular car. This one is actually way nicer than the one that was there. Thank you, Lord, I did not get that car. But they ended up having a Rapid Blue one sitting right next to the yellow one, and we walked in. Dominica was not trying to see that yellow one. She saw it, but her eyes was stuck on the Rapid Blue. She loved the Rapid Blue, and if I'm being honest with y'all, I loved it too, but I knew that wasn't the one that we were going to look at. We were coming to look at this yellow one. That Rapid Blue one I could tell was going to be a lot more money. And I was like, I know you like that blue, but babe, what about this yellow though? And she was like, ain't nobody thinking about that yellow. This blue is where it's at. So I'm like, dang. So, and I felt the same way. If I'm being honest, I didn't want the yellow one after we saw it. The yellow calipers didn't identically match the yellow paint. It had yellow seat belts that looked just a little tacky in my opinion. They weren't the exact same color yellow, so it made it look kind of tacky. I don't know. That was just me. It was just my opinion, right? I'm just sharing my opinion. But that wasn't our car, right? We both agreed on that. You know, if we're spending that much money, we need to be in agreement on something like that because, again, guys, this ain't like a car where you're spending a couple $100 a month. We're going to be spending $1,000 a month. So we need to be in agreement on the color of our vehicle that's going to be in our garage that we're paying all that money for, right? So talking to the sales guy, we're asking him about the Rapid Blue one, of course, in there. And it was just way out of our budget. I think it was going to be like 85 grand plus tax. So that would have been like a $90,000 car. And it only had like 2,000 miles on it. It was like brand new. It had black interior. It was a convertible. But yeah, I mean, it was nice. It was really nice. It had the stock performance exhaust on it. It was a nice car. But again, $90,000, we weren't having that, guys. We were like, you know what, we'll just keep looking. We'll wait. But before we left, the sales guy was like, hey, why don't you guys just order one? So we're like, you know, one of the reasons we're looking at one that's already built is because, you know, we like how you guys are offering these discounts on these cars, right? We don't want to order one and spend an arm and a leg on one of these vehicles. They're already so expensive. So really, we don't want to pay MSRP if we don't have to. He totally understood it. And he was like, hey, that's the cool thing about our dealership. They were like, you know, we can actually order you one and then offer you the same discounts that we're offering on this yellow one that you came to see. So we're like, now you talking my language. Gee, I appreciate you, man. I'm like, babe, let's order one. So we ran through all like everything we wanted on the car. And he was like, hey, think about it on the ride home. Think about it this weekend and give me a call Monday if you guys want to place the order. That's what we'll do. So Dominica and I, of course, talked about it. We were so excited that we were going to be able to order a brand new 2025 Chevrolet Corvette in the Rapid Blue. It was going to be a 1LT car, so it was going to have the black interior. We were going to have a small rear spoiler on it. We picked out the wheels we wanted. Non-Z51 package because that would have been an additional $5 grand, and we were like, no, we're not going to do that. We were getting the performance exhaust, and we were going to get the black exhaust tips, right? So, guys, we had it. Yo, when I tell y'all we had this car all specced out, like it was money, y'all. It was so nice. So we ended up calling them, of course, that Monday. We said, hey, man, we want to buy this car. Like, we want to order it. What's the process looking like? When will the car be built? Because we want to enjoy it all season long next year, right? We're in 2024. Again, wanting the car in early 2025 so that we can enjoy it the moment the weather got nice, right? Because we was thirsty, man. Of course, man, when you get something like this, of course, guys, you want to enjoy it. You spent all this money. I've dreamed about this car for 10 years. I want to enjoy this, right? I want it as soon as possible. So he tells me, he's like, Chevrolet has been building these cars very, very, very fast. And we should be building the car, and mind you, this was November. We should be able to have this car built in late February. You should have it sometime in March. Now, we got to the end of January, guys, and unfortunately, GM had not even given us a build date yet. So the idea of it being built in late February sounded good, but there was no guarantee on that. And we were getting kind of close to when, you know, we were like a month, 2 months away from when it's time to pull something like this out, guys. Like, again, like if I'm spending all this money, I want it in March, guys. I really need it. I needed the car in March. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. I need the car in March. So the sales guy was so cool. Again, I'm gonna keep his information private. If you want to reach out to me, if you're looking to order one brand new and you want his information, because again, that is the dealership. If I was to order one brand new, I would still go through them because they did a phenomenal job with everything that they did for us. Even though we didn't end up getting the car from them, they were great. If you want their information, shoot me a message on Instagram or email me. I'll be happy to share that. But we told them that, hey, you know, if we're not going to have this car, you know, built in February and have it in our hands sometime in March or at the latest early April or mid-April, we're probably going to look at some other options, possibly look on the used market, sort of go from there. He completely understood. So, of course, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm always on Facebook Marketplace, as I've shared in other videos. I'm always looking at bikes that I don't need to buy, but again, if I come up on a great deal, you guys know how it is. We're gearheads. This is what we do. Or if I come up on a little car that I want, you know, probably wouldn't happen because it'd probably be a big car that I would want. But, you know, again, always just looking for good deals on stuff. Just kind of like a hobby of mine, scrolling on Facebook Marketplace. Now, while this is all going on with the dealership, you know, I had actually found this actual car on Facebook Marketplace, and I saved it in my save for later because I wanted to show this as like a representation of what our car was going to look like with the tinted windows, right? So I had saved this while all that was going on with the dealership. And when everything sort of fell apart with the dealership and they didn't, you know, they weren't able to promise that build date, I ended up deciding, I looked at this car again and I just scrolled through the pictures and I read the description that the owner had. And I was like, dang, this car seems to have a lot. It was a 3LT car, which if you don't know, in the Corvette Stingray world, that is the top of the line. So 3LT, it has everything. It had the color matching interior, which I thought was nuts. If you decide to order that color matching interior from GM, you're gonna spend $5,000, guys. There's no getting around it. $5,000 for that special interior. Guys, it had a Borla Attack exhaust. So you guys heard that exhaust earlier in this video, and if you checked out my last video, but guys, that exhaust is nuts. Borla Attack, that is a $5,000 exhaust. It already had it on there. It also had these aftermarket wheels. They're called Aero Lari wheels, and those are like $2,000. So guys, I'm like, wheels, exhaust, the color that I wanted, the color interior that I only could ever dreamed of having, because the one that I was ordering, of course, I was not spending an extra $5,000 for that interior. There was no way, guys. I just can't afford that. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I just wasn't gonna spend my hard-earned money on that. I was getting a base model car. So the fact that this car had everything, it got my attention. Now, of course, this car was not priced the same as I would have been able to get a 1LT car for, right? This car was priced a little bit more. We'll get into the pricing, I feel like, in another video, because I want to share my monthly payment on this vehicle. I want to share how I finance this vehicle, because I did something different on this car that I normally wouldn't do. But again, I'll break all that down for you just so you can understand my reasoning and hopefully learn something from what I'm doing on this car. Maybe you'll apply it, you know, on a future vehicle for you. But again, this vehicle was way more than we needed, right? Interior, color option, $5,000 exhaust, $2,000 wheels, and then get this, guys, not only that, it's a convertible, guys. It's a drop top. If you order one of these cars and get a convertible, you're gonna spend $7,000. Guys, $7,000 for a convertible on this car. Guys, this car had so many options. The previous owner also did the aero on the car, so the front splitter, the side skirts. He put that wing on the back of it that looks amazing. Guys, when I tell you this car was decked out, guys, it was crazy. So I called my dad, like anybody would do, right? I called my dad. I was like, Dad, what you think? What you think I should do? You know that, GM is kind of taking forever on my build on the new one, and I really want the car as soon as possible. What would you do if you were in my situation? And he was like, I like the idea of you getting a new one. And I was like, Dad, I do too, but, I also like all that this car has. Now, the only thing that concerned me with this vehicle is it's a 2022, right? So I'm like, okay, 2022, it's 2025, dang, 3-year, 36,000 mile powertrain warranty, or no, I'm sorry, bumper to bumper warranty. The powertrain is 5-year, 60,000 on these cars, but 3-year, 36,000, I'm like, dang, I'm at that 3-year mark. This car is about to be out of that bumper to bumper warranty. All the mechanics and stuff in this car, I'm like, I don't know about owning this car without having some sort of warranty, because I've had nightmares in the past with cars where, like my Civic Si, for example, blew a head gasket at 86,000 miles, costed me $5,000 out of pocket. Like, stuff like that hurts, guys. If there's one thing I hate, is car repairs, because I feel like I'm just throwing money at the wall, right? So, long story short, reached out to the owner and I said, hey, this is where I'm at as far as pricing. Do you think that you could get to this number? And I didn't lowball them. I just threw out a fair offer for the car. I said, hey, I'm looking at a new one, but again, GM is taking all day on the build, and I really want the car as soon as possible. And if you could get to this number, I want to come check it out, and I'll make this deal as easy as possible for you. I'll get my financing in order, and, I'll buy it. And he said, when I tell you this was the coolest guy to ever do a deal with, this guy, just a legendary guy. Like, I'm gonna keep his information private, but he just a super cool guy, one of the best guys you could ever buy something from. We went and looked at this vehicle the very next day after I reached out to him, and come to find out, guys, this car has an extended warranty on it until 2029. So when he told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the one. We went and looked at it. It was pristine, guys. Like, it was, you know how I keep my stuff. If you've ever seen my stuff in person, my stuff is always pristine. I like my stuff to look brand new. I'm a little OCD, not even gonna hold you. And I'm just real weird about that. Like, my stuff has to be pristine. Like, that's just how I am. That's how I'm wired. So when I went and looked at it, of course, it passed that pristine test. It was so nice, guys. It was so clean. And, you know, when you go look at something and you see how somebody takes care of their house and their other vehicles, like this guy, like his whole property was beautiful, garage was beautiful, like everything was beautiful. You could tell this was the type of person that you would feel comfortable buying a used object like this off of. Now, again, this wasn't like an everyday used object. This was an expensive toy, right? So, you know, with that being said, you know, you really want to be sure that, you know, that individual is, you know, somebody you comfortable buying something off of. And I was absolutely positive after meeting him in person. He was a super stand-up guy, really nice guy. His wife was there as well. She was really nice as well. And again, you could just tell my dad, me, and my wife, we all caught a really good vibe about this vehicle, about them. And we were like, guys, we want to do this deal. So a couple of days later, we had all the financing wrapped up. That was a Saturday. We went and looked at it. Monday, called the bank. Tuesday, we signed our paperwork. He signed his paperwork, and the beautiful car was ours, guys. So that is the story behind us getting a C8 Corvette. Why now? Why not now, guys? Life is short, and if you're in the position to be able to live your dreams, you should live your dreams, guys. Again, your dream life is out there. You just got to go get it. You know, nobody's stopping you. You know, anything like this, if you haven't been able to achieve, whether that be a motorcycle or a car, or be able to travel how you want to travel, there's nothing stopping you but you. If your aspiration is to live your dream life, for me, driving a C8 Corvette is my dream, right? I had to make it happen. I was the only person in my own way, right? So again, your dream life is out there as well. You just got to go get it, right? That's just what it is, guys. It takes hard work. It takes sacrifice. I did go to university, right? I had to study hard for years and years and years, graduated, started in entry-level roles, guys. That's what it takes. You got to work your way up. That's just what it is, guys. But again, the only person stopping anybody from living their dreams is the person in the mirror. That's it, guys. That's it. So that is the story behind me getting this car, guys. It has been so much fun. We put about 2,000 miles on the car. As you saw earlier today, we actually linked up with the original owner of this vehicle. He brought out his big boy, y'all. He has the big boy. He brought out that big boy 2025 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 in that beautiful Sebring orange. Gorgeous car, but we got to kick it with him and his cousin earlier today. And then we went to another meet, as I mentioned. We went to a Corvette meet after that he actually told us about. We had a great time. But guys, me and my dad, we were cruising today, but typically it's me and Dominica outside having a great time and just enjoying this blessing of a car that God bless us with, guys. So, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out via Instagram, DM me, shoot me an email. But guys, I want to thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have been showing the channel. Again, this year has been so much fun making this content. I've been having a ball. As you guys know, I've been putting out a lot of content, and it's been fun making it. So again, thank you guys so much for the support. Always remember, when God is in it, there is no limit. Your dream life is out there. You just got to go get it. We'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.